Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today, as you can see, I've got the cling wrap shelter back out here, which means we're going to tarp it and we're going to have another amazing video. I promised you guys a fire pit, and it's going to happen this time, or at least a fire. That's what we're going to cook over. We're going to be cooking some deer meat. Yeah, some deer meat because it is deer season. Got some fresh deer meat, so that's what we're going to be cooking. The inside is going to be set up pretty much the same, so I'm not sure I'm going to show that, but I'm going to get this thing tarped off and everything's set up, and I'll see you guys in a few. All right guys, we got her all tarped off, just like we did the time before. Everything's all good there. Enter the same way, undo that one, hook it to the cot, climb through the hole. Between it and that clear wrap, it'll stay extra warm in there. Clear wrap's been on there for a while now, so it should be good and set in. On top of that, we're gonna put our fire pit about right there, which is about 1.5 full steps away from the truck. Most people do 1 step. I decided to do 1.5 since I am in my truck and it's got a tarp on it. I don't want that to burn. Besides that, we've got our propane bottle as before. There's some trash to help get the fire going. And we've got a good meal planned. So I'm gonna crawl inside and show you guys the inside. All right guys, we got the fire pit going. Got the shelter all set up. Got me a chair this time and a stool to help me get in and out. Shovel I dug the pit with. My little axe to help me gather firewood. Anyway, it's looking like it's gonna be a good night. It's about 60 degrees right now. It's supposed to dip down into 33, about 33 degrees. I've got that deer meat I'm supposed to cook. I've got a little bit of a different way I'm gonna cook it up. Y'all just stay tight and I'll see y'all when it's time to eat. Guys, there ain't nothing like a nice hot fire and a cold beer. Tonight we're enjoying the Slight and Mighty low calorie IPA from Dogfish Head, and I gotta say it's mighty fantastic. Got the fire going, got the shelter all set up. Brought me a stool this time so I can step up in there a little easier. I'm gonna sit here and enjoy this fire for a little while, and then I reckon I'll get around to finally showing y'all the inside of the shelter. Even though it's set up exactly the same way it was last time, but it will be a whole lot darker in there this time. Maybe I'll sleep a little longer before the sun comes up. Got a nice big pile of firewood over there. Also, see that shovel right there? It was like $8. Do not buy an $8 shovel. Every time I went to dig this little bitty hole for the fire pit, it just wanted to bend and flex a whole lot. It isn't one I keep in the back of my truck all the time. It's not weathered or anything. It still looks brand new. It just bends and flexes a whole lot. The metal's not very good. Definitely spend a little more money on your shovel. I think that would be better. I should have, and I probably will upgrade my shovel, because that thing, I mean, I was trying to dig this little bitty, I don't know, it's probably 6, 7, 8 inches deep hole, and every time I went to step on it, it would bend. I mean, it just bent. It was terrible. But there's the shelter. Still got the propane bottle hooked up. Got it all tarped off. Hopefully between the clear wrap and the tarp, it'll actually be extra warm in there tonight. It's supposed to get down to about 33. So we'll see what happens. All right guys, we're back inside the shelter. So we added the tarp to the cling wrap. As you can see, we are all tarped up. I mean, even that's where the hole was, but now the tarp's there. Meaning we should have absolutely no air getting in here, and I can't feel any. Got the little heater on low. We're gonna see how it does tonight. We're actually gonna keep using the little thermometer. It says it's 43 outside and 49 outside. That's possible. I just turned the heater on. Just got the bathroom, the cooler, the heater. I did buy a table just because I feel like I needed one, so I didn't have to use the cooler. Kitchen setup, my stuff, then the water, spit bottle, beverage. This is that Dogfish Head Slight and Mighty low cal IPA. Fantastic beer. 0 degree sleeping bag. 0 degree sleeping bag on the wool blanket on the cot. That setup worked so well last time. It's supposed to get down to about 33 tonight. The high today was 60. About 50 outside right now. I guess 49, I guess, if that thing's right. Or whatever that temperature said was the outside temperature. I don't know. Again, I'm not sure how accurate that is. I do know that this heater is already working better than it was last night because I can actually feel it right now. Does that mean it's going to work this good all night? I don't know. I feel like this is kind of the ultimate shelter. I feel like this is as best as this can get. Got the clear wrap keeping a lot of the air out, and then you wrap it with that tarp to keep even more air and water out. I mean, it's nice in here right now. So we'll see what the temp says here in a little bit. I said we got deer meat, potatoes, and stuff, and onion and cheese. Kind of mixture I'm going to make for dinner. That should be really good. But for now, I'm not real hungry. I'm going to chill out, see if I can get a little more organized. Because I kind of just threw all this stuff back in here. And it kind of looks like it's a mess, but I know where everything is. I'm going to straighten the bed out. 2 pillows again, because the 2-pillow system worked really well last time. But yeah, here's your look. The light, like always. All walls are wrapped with that tarp. The hole's now covered, bungeed like it was when it was just the tarp. The bed with the 0-degree sleeping bag, the wool blanket, and the cot. The heater on low. We did add a table, constantly upgrading our gear. Means I can put stuff on it. I can put my phone on it at night. I can use like a bedside table. I can cut vegetables and stuff on it without having to cut them on my lap, sitting on the cot, or cut them on top of the cooler, because last night the cooler was blocking the hole. So I used my lap to cut everything up. It wasn't ideal. And I can use this to eat off of. I can use it to cook on instead of having to cook off the floor like like the other day. So yeah, so last time, I was cooking off the floor, I was cutting off my lap, everything like that. I used a table this time, and for $15, man, it fits perfect. I can fold it up and store it under the toolbox, in the toolbox, wherever, and it's good to go. Like I said earlier, should have invested in a better shovel. The shovel I have just bent and kept feeling like it was real flimsy and bendy and everything. It is a good shovel just to keep in the back of your truck, because if you ruin it, it's $8. But should have been an upgraded table. So yeah, I'll see y'all in a few when it's time to cook. And I got a dessert tonight. A good dessert, supposedly. My wife sent it with me. Hopefully it's okay. Alright guys, I got that deer meat browning off. Got my corn on the grill. Like I said, we were going to cook over the fire tonight, and I was going to make something a little bit different. So I got to get this deer meat browned off, then get my potatoes and onions in here, and the juices. And then combine them with some cheese and some cream cheese, and it will be fantastic. And I got to get that corn to cook off pretty good. But so far, we're doing all right. Alright guys, we've got those potatoes starting to cook up, and what was left of all that, those meat juices and that little bit of oil I'd put in there, they're going to take a little bit, but I'm going to get them cooked down, get them starting to soften up, then I'll add the onions, then I'll add the deer meat back, then we'll start adding the cheese, and we got the corn over here just roasting away. Actually need to flip that. Got it flipped. So it's good now. The thing I don't like about cooking over the fire is normally the smoke. It always gets in my eyes and it burns really bad. Besides that, I don't have a problem with it. Normally you can control your heat pretty good. Like I've got this heat very well. I've got this really good grate. And just cooking over some fire, over the fire. It is one of the simplest and one of my favorite ways to cook. And I know you guys can barely see me. I don't have any light other than the one on my phone out here tonight. Besides my flashlight, and I mean, shit. Sorry, is that really any better? And if y'all think that's better, that's fine. I'll kind of do it like this. But yeah, other than the fire, I don't have any light. Or besides this flashlight, I don't have any light. But yeah, a fire is a great way to cook. Low and slow, you can cook anything. I mean, that meat turned out really tender. And so when I mix it in these potatoes and the onions with the cheese, it's going to be fantastic. I'm going to let this cook down, let them start getting soft, then we'll add the onions, then we'll add the cream cheese, then we'll add the meat back so it'll warm back up. Because it's just sitting out on plate, so it's going to get cold. And then we'll add the actual shredded cheese, and it should be fantastic. So I'll see y'all in a little bit. All right, guys, so now we're going to start melting that cream cheese into those potatoes and onions. Nice and slow. Actually, that might be a little too fast there, but back the corn off just so it stays warm. We're going to get this all melted down and start mixing it together. As it melts down, we'll add the meat. And then after we add the meat, we'll add actual cheese, pull this off, let it cool down a little bit, then we'll smash on some dinner. And that deer meat right there is so tender. Oh, it's so good. It's gonna be so good in all of this. All right, guys, so we got that all melted down, got the deer meat added. Gonna let this warm up just a little bit. Get that deer meat back warm because it's sitting over yonder, all cold. Corn's done. Corn's just sitting there staying warm. Gonna warm this all back up, keep mixing it together, and then we'll add the cheese to the top, and we're gonna smash. This is gonna be fantastic. The only seasoning is the Richard seasoning, and so far everything tastes awesome. I'm gonna keep stirring this, and then we'll add the cheese, let it melt, and then I'll show that to y'all, and then I'm gonna smash on me some dinner. Man, that looks so good. Whew. All right, guys, here's that final meal. All that cream cheese and actual cheese and deer meat and potatoes all mixed together, and them onions. I've already tasted it. It is fantastic. I'm gonna smash on this, and I'll see y'all for dessert. I'm also gonna smash on that corn right there. It should be nice and cooked and all warm. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's good corn. So I'm gonna smash on all this, and I'll see y'all in a few. All right, guys, so I just got done with dinner, and I have to say it's one of the best meals I've ever made. Between the seasoning and just the potatoes, the onions, that good deer meat was real tender. All that cheese, between the cream cheese and the regular cheese, just all melted together. Man, y'all, it was fantastic. It'd almost be a good dip. But it was a fine meal. And if you get to try it, here's what I use. I use Richard seasoning, some deer meat that fries good in the pan so it stays tender. So a good like steak cut or something like that. Regular old Idaho potato and a regular old yellow onion. A block of cream cheese and a cup of regular cheese. Or 2 cups of regular cheese. I used a whole bag of cheese. The smallest bag you can buy. Guys, that was fantastic. I'm going to make that many, many, many more times. And I was using last year's deer meat. Not even this year's. Anyway, that was dinner. We'll get around to having dessert in a little while. I got to sit here and digest that. And I didn't eat all of it. I still have a good bit of it sitting over there in that pan with that lid on it. So it's kind of close to the fire, but that fire won't even keep it warm. And we're airing the fire back up since we're not cooking no more. We can get it raring back up. Yeah, it's sitting. The rest of it's sitting over there. I will either have it for breakfast or I won't. I may eat it the rest of it tonight, considering it. And hold on. It's only about 7:15, so I may get around to eat the rest of it tonight. And I know this is not the best light for video, and I'm doing my best. I got a flashlight. The camera light, every time I turn it around the other way, because since I'm using my phone, turns on, and that's the reason y'all can see the food and stuff like that. But if I'm looking at myself, there is no flash on this side, so I have to use a flashlight. So hopefully y'all don't care too much. I'm finishing up a Leinenkugel toasted lager, or toasted bock. Sorry, toasted bock. Great beer. I drank a couple of those Shiner Bock Holiday Cheers, or whatever they're called. It's a good beer too. I ran out of the, I had a couple of the Dogfish Head low-cal IPAs left. I drank them too. It was like one of each. So I had one Holiday Cheer, I had one Toasted Bock, and I had one Dogfish Head. All three are fantastic beers. I recommend them all. But I'm going to hang out here, enjoy this fire for a little while. We'll have dessert inside because I got to cook a cup of coffee for it anyway. So I'll end up cooking that cup of coffee. We'll have dessert, and then I'm probably going to crash out for the night. But for now, I'm going to sit here, enjoy my nice, beautiful, warm. I mean, look at that thing go. Probably eat some more of that. And I'm just going to have a good old time. That's a great thing about all this is that I love it. I love camping. I love hanging out. I love surviving. I mean, the shelter over there is looking good. And I'm having a good old time. Because remembering, we're not just trying to survive, we're trying to thrive. But a lot of these videos are more camping than they are anything. And I want y'all to remember that some of these videos are going to be more camping and other ones are going to be more surviving. I've got some coming up that are going to be with me on my kayak. Either paddling out to a location or maybe surviving on the kayak itself. We'll see. But that's kind of, those will be more survival than this. This is very much so just I came up with a shelter idea. And then I combined two shelter ideas using the back of my truck, which is fantastic. I mean, if you have a truck and you're kind of stuck somewhere, if you have a tarp, you can do it that way. Or if you have, I don't know why you'd have a big roll of cling wrap, but if you had a big roll of cling wrap, you can do the cling wrap and the tarp. And hopefully that's real warm. We're going to find out a little later tonight. So far, since I've set it up, it's held better temperature than it inside than it has outside by a couple of degrees. But I'm going to sit out here and enjoy this fire, and I'll see y'all in a few. Alright guys, like I said, we were going to have a dessert tonight. So we're having a nice warm cup of coffee. Cooked off of this Primos stove. Man, this stove is fantastic. I like it way better than my propane stove. Cooked it in my little Stanley double cup pot. As you can see, there's still a little coffee down in there. And what we're going to be having is an Ooey Gooey bar. And we're going to dip it in the coffee. I've heard this is fantastic. Never had it. I have eaten the Ooey Gooey bars. I do like Ooey Gooey bars. I was told to try it in a cup of coffee by an old timer. So you know what? Old timers tell you something, you try it. So here it goes. Ooey Gooey bar. This one's already kind of broke. I'm going to taste a little piece. Let it soak in the coffee. I guess like you would an Oreo and milk or something, or cookie and milk. Oh my god. Hey, Ooey Gooey bars are good, but dipped into that coffee, that's fantastic. I 10 out of 10 recommend that. Also, if we're talking about temperature, tonight's a little bit warmer at night. Or at least according to, I mean, the Weather Channel, it was supposed to be in the 30s. I mean, it's only, well, a little after 8 o'clock. But it's 50 degrees outside and 61 degrees inside the shelter. I do have the heater on. I was a little chilled when I got in here. But it's really warm in here, actually. Super comfortable. I don't even think I need a sleeping bag. But man, that sleeping bag is fantastic. I actually will probably end up cutting the heater off and relying on the sleeping bag instead of trying to rely on the heater, because then I can save some propane. The heater's good for knocking the chill out, but I'd rather just crawl up in the sleeping bag throughout the night instead of wasting the heat from the heater, that propane. Because I got paid for the propane, but I don't have to pay to sleep inside the sleeping bag. I already bought it. Get that propane refilled. Oh, I got to pay for that. So, unless it does dip down like it's supposed to, and just so happens to get really cold, even though the other night, last time I was in here, it was in the 30s and inside that sleeping bag, I was perfectly warm. Woke up sweating, actually. So I'll probably just end up using the heater to knock the chill out in the morning for breakfast. Or coffee. More coffee. So I'm going to finish eating my Ooey Gooey bar with my coffee, which is fantastic. It might be my favorite thing. So we actually had a really good meal, and we had a really good dessert. The meal was fantastic. I didn't expect that. And this dessert, God, I love old timers. So, yeah, I'll see y'all in the morning. We'll see how everything went. We'll talk about this over a cup of coffee. I love y'all. I want to thank y'all for subscribing. And continue to like and subscribe. Hold on. And I'll continue to put out interesting and fun videos. And we'll see where it goes from there. Well, thank you to each and every one of y'all who watched this. I really do appreciate it. And I'll see y'all in the morning. Oh, good morning, guys. I tell you what, this shelter is way warmer than either one by itself. I slept in here last night with just that heater running. It was so warm. I slept on top of my sleeping bag. Didn't even get in it. It's so really warm in here right now. Oh, the combined shelter. I love it. This is the way to go. Combine the two. That being said, I would still just tarp it. There's no way I'd ever re-cling wrap this. So if I ever cut the cling wrap off, it'll never go back up there. But man, it stayed warm in here last night. Oh, so warm. So this morning we're having some more Kuhu, whatever, coffee. This is Base Camp. It's supposed to be oak, chocolate, and honey kind of flavors, notes in it. I actually made it right this time. I haven't had any yet. I need to. I might not want to get going this morning. Yeah. There are still a few things I need to improve. Oh, that's way better than the other one. Oh, that's good. That's good coffee. It's better than the other one, like I said. Are some things I need to improve on. But man, this one's pretty good. As far as shelters go, these two combined are better than either one was by itself. So I'm really tempted just to crawl back, lay that back down on this cot and go back to sleep. Ugh. But I can't. Always stuff to do, man. Always stuff to do. The downside to the shelter every time is I can't stand up in it. So like, I can't fully stand up in it. I'm always hunched over. I don't like that. I like being able to stand up. But it is what it is. Besides that, man, a few upgrades I got to make, just little things here and there, and everything will be fine. It's all on my end. Especially like if I'm going to have a fire pit outside, I would like to be able to set it up outside where I can do everything outside. That means I need a light for outside, a table for outside, stuff like that. But I want to thank you guys for watching. Remember to like and subscribe.
Share this with your friends, you know, just whatever. Y'all stay frosty, and I'll see you next time.